Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I'm so much excited to introduce to you Desishub CLI and why you might get interested in it. I'm just going to show you how I've been using it and how it has really 10x my productivity in all the recent projects that I've been scaffolding. Starting a new project can be really scary. Whether you are a new beginner, you are intermediate developer, or even senior developers, starting a new project from scratch has never been really nice because you understand that it's going to take you a lot of time to add in, not because you don't know what to do, but it takes in time that you feel it is wasted time because you feel like if someone could just get all these maybe dependencies or these packages and add them for you, you would start at a sweet spot. And that's why most people like Laravel, okay? Like everyone hates starting from a blank project, and Laravel knew that, and Ruby. And that's why when you start a new Laravel project, by default, you have like shared CN installed, you have a basic dashboard, you have authentication working, and some of other nice things that you want in your basic project, you know? So I have been going through the same exact scenario whereby I feel like I can't start just like a new project. You want to start like a Next.js project and you realize you are going to start it, add shared CN, add the dashboard, add those routes. Like really, it is something which is tiring. And you feel like if you could have one to simplify this. And you know very well, this can take you on average about like 4 hours set it up, or even days, depending on what your project is all about. And if to make matters worse, if you're just like doing a monorepo application whereby you have a web application, a mobile app, and an API, and you are setting them to all starting working, even to create only one endpoint, fetch the data in the front end, show it in the mobile app, and also on the web, and you are getting this data from the API, you know how long it would take you to do that. And that's why I came up with the CLI. In all now my project, I use this CLI and it is a game changer, guys. And today I shipped a ton of features in it that makes it really to have superpowers. So let's look at the Desishub CLI 2.1. Now this is just like the new update. You can see this. It took me 2 days to work on the new features that I shipped in. Let's talk about the new features that I just shipped in. The first thing is when I released it in 2.0, it came when it has Next.js, Hono, and even Expo, plus even Node.js. But Node.js was having only Prisma and TypeScript, and most people were demanding that I add in documentation, which looks like this. I was really feeling bad because I looked for how to implement this in the first time and I failed. And so I went into research to look how I can add this documentation easily into a Node.js API. And I've been working on that. So after like really hours of research, I actually finally added in the docs with no errors and everything is working nicely. So I went ahead, I took in more time. I actually worked on the mono repo. So mono repo is where you have one repository that have your web application, has your API, and has also your Expo. And why would you want to do that? You know very well, jumping into the other tab and then jumping into this one, it is really not productive. And at the same time, you might want to share some things across these disconnected apps. You have your Next.js app, you have your Hono API, or you have your API. Most times that you find you want to share types is what I just normally find you want to share most of the times. You wish the API, you had the shared types that you can share across all your apps. And that's exactly what I put in the Mon repo. So I'm just going to dive in and I show you how to actually use this. So the first step, of course, is to go ahead and install the CLI. So just open here and we're just going to go ahead and add this here and just press enter. This is going to go ahead and install the CLI globally on your machine so that you can just now start creating applications anywhere. This is how Laravel does the same thing. you install the Laravel, and then you can start doing this. So you can confirm that it is installed by running this app --version or v, just like this. And this should just give you 2.1, which is actually the current update, 2.11, just like that. And now we can scaffold the app. I'm just going to do 2 demos right now. I'm just going to do one for the Express app. I'm just also going to do another one for the for which one? For the mono repo. Let's start with the Express. I really want to show you this one. So I'm just going to say Desishub, and then you can say new, just like this, and then say my Express API, just like this. Okay, so this is going to go ahead and let me select. So you can see you have a lot of application. You have the Next.js app, you have the Express app, you have the Hono app, you have the Expo app, you have also the mono repo that I've just added also today. So I'm just going to go and scaffold the Node.js Express app that comes with Prisma, Docs, and TypeScript. So as it's doing this, I just want to go ahead and get like a database. I'm just going to go to, I think, this side. And let me just go here and create a new project. Just go to personal workspace. Let me just go here and just create a new project like this. I'm just going to call this one let me just call it my Express DB something. And then you can say generate, and then you can say create project like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and say generate the database, and just I'm interested in this database URL. That's the one I'm interested in. Let me go back to my project. It has already finished. CD into, so you can see, you just need to CD into this and start. So if you just say CD into my Express, just say code dot, just like this. This opens it in here. Now look at this, the interesting part. You know that some people, even when there is the .env, they don't actually put these environmental variables. He simply jumps into the app and runs pnpm run dev, right? So you just try to do that, like the normal of doing things. So I will just come here and I'm just going to run hide pnpm dev, just like this. So you can see like now it cannot actually start if you have no environmental variables. Like database is required as a must to start this. I'm going to stop this and create .env file here, .env. And that is really cool because now you have a place you set your environmental variables. It is here, env.ts. You can see here. This is why you specify the ones which are optional, the ones which are required. For instance, you can see the database URL is required. And this uses Zod. Can you imagine that, guys? This is really cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and add database URL that I copied from my, Prisma database. Just go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this. Okay. So after adding the database, I'm just go ahead and run migrations. So just go in Prisma. Let's delete this folder for migrations. And let me just go ahead and say npx prisma migrate dev -- name init, just like this. This is just going to go ahead and push our schema. We have a simple 2 schemas that I was testing with, more especially the one of the product, this one. So you can just go ahead and first go ahead and push this. Okay, you can just go ahead and push this. For database, you don't need to use Prisma Postgres. You can use Neon or you can use anything else. You don't need to use Prisma Postgres. It will just like the easy one I can set up very fast right now. So I'm just going to give it some few seconds and then I'm just going to start this. Okay, applying, and the migrations have been created and even the Prisma client has been generated. That's nice. Just go ahead and clear this. I'm just going to say pnpm dev now. Let's see. And you can see even have just like the test endpoints here, but importantly, they say server is running on localhost 5000. I can click on this. And by the way, you can see you also have logs by Morgan. I think we're using a helmet somewhere. So I'm using like, you can see this. If you just go in the app, you can see we're using the helmet. So you can see, first of all, you have a nice landing page or the welcome page. Instead of having the 404 page here, now we have this nice that you can use this page to explain about your app. And if you want to see where you can change this one, it is actually very easy. I added it in its own file here. So you just go to this source constants, and then you are going to see you have this HTML. This is using Tailwind. So you can just come down here, scroll down. And while we have Express API, I'm just going to put my Express app, my Express API docs. Like this, if I just go back, refresh this, you see I have my Express API docs. And now I can click on the documentation to see that nice documentation. Oh my God, I just love this. So this, you can see you have list of all endpoints. We can just go into the testing. I just want to go ahead and test this, guys. Let's go ahead and run this. It should be already working because we already connected our database. I'm just going to wait. Yeah. So we have an empty array, nothing we have in the DB right now. Can I create something in the DB very fast? Yes. I can just go here, create a new product. And I'm just going to say down here, I can just go ahead and get any image for this. Since this is a test, I don't need even to change anything. You can see we have, by the way, they prebuilt the example. Oh, guys, this is so nice. If you just go in here, you will see under the routes. So you see under source, and then you have routes, and you have like the products. If you look at the schema here, the schema actually you can add in the examples, like example of iPhone 15, and all these other things. You can see even this image example that you see here is actually added from there. So I can just go ahead and create this. And you can see quickly this creates like this. Now if you go back to list, and you can just like do this, and you have your products here. This is so nice. So like we have an endpoint working within the first 1 minute or 2 minutes. I don't know. Like you have now this, you can just like go ahead and connect this whichever front end you want to put in Next.js application. Now, if I wanted, I can create this, and then I can go ahead and still use the Desishub CLI. I set up the Next.js application within seconds, and I set it up. But you can just go ahead and test the Next.js. This video is going to be too long if I test all the apps you have here. So basically, the Hono will give you the same API, but using Hono, and Next.js, you're going to get the same a front-end application, just like this. Why don't I just do quickly the Next.js application, guys? I feel like I just like need to demonstrate for this, just like very fast. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this since we just like done with it. I can just go ahead and just like cd into ... just going to say clear. And now I can just go ahead and just like scaffold a Next.js application right now. So I can just say Desishub new, and they just say my Next.js app, just like this. And by the way, you could just have left that and running, by the way, and then just go ahead and just say Next.js app like this. This should just like also just take some few minutes, just like 1 minute, or which depending on your internet, of course. And this is going to go ahead and set up a Next.js app. And you can see it comes with Next.js API routes with React query. So I'm just going to cd into did I call it my Next.js? Next.js, like this, code dot, and this is going to open it also in this, like that. And I can just go and say npm dev, like this. Okay, just give it a second. Let me just click on localhost 3000. Okay, we haven't done anything. This gives you just, is going to give you just, oh my god, just it gives you this. Look at this. So this comes with API route serve actions React query, and if you want to test the power of this, is click on store. So when you click on store, this comes with a simple, like almost like an e-commerce, and this is all using React query. Okay, all this is using the React query, and it has also infinite scroll, just like that. So you have this app. Now you can just like hook this app because this is already using API. So if you go in the serve action, you can simply add your API. So you can see here, you can add your API URL, and then you can start like actually querying right away your API just using the base API URL. So you can just like create an Express API. Within no seconds, I can hook it up with a Next.js. If you want to use only Next.js with no anything else, you simply go ahead and be communicating with your API because all the endpoints are here. But if you had a Hono API, it is very easy now to use serve actions here, which are already communicating with the API. So you simply create API categories. And if you want to see how we did that, this is exactly what we did in this video here. Okay, so that is nice. I'm just going to close this. I want to show you how I can scaffold another application, which is actually a monorepo. Due to the interest of making this video short, I'm just going to create another one where I'm going to be demonstrating the use of the monorepo, because the monorepo needs some kind of small setup that I feel like is going to make this video necessarily longer and explaining it, because I have to explain the turbo repo and how everything works together. So I'm just going to create another video for the monorepo. Okay, so for now, just have made the demo of how to use the Node.js Express. Okay, yeah, and also the Next.js. So see you in the next one.